Death Wall.
Death Wall. I will walk 500 miles and I will walk 500 more. And I know YouTube is just going to try to copyright that. Hopefully everyone swings by. Nice stream. Thanks, Sid. I hope it was at least entertaining for you. We were close. I would say like that was the closest Sean was ever to like actually winning in the Jamboree so far. Because we've played like about 4 boards with each other. So that's like the closest he's ever been in terms of winning specifically in Jamboree. He won boards in the previous Mario parties. So that one was just straight up coins. Like if I didn't get 2 more coins or Sean got 2 more coins, we would have been a dice roll and that would have been all luck based. I would likely have lost because Sean's luck is way better than mine. I was entertained. That's good. Well, join in next week and we'll see about Bowser because that's going to be even worse. Because as per Mario Party tradition, Bowser boards are usually like the worst boards to play. Mainly for like... Yeah, I Bowser boards are usually like the hardest ones to really play. Because there are a lot of like luck-based stuff. I mean, that's what Bowser boards are. They're supposed to be one of the worst boards. And that's either good or bad, depending on how you like your Mario Party. I grew up in like Mario Party 5 and stuff, so... Entertaining feels like 40% of the sessions was Masterbot slander. I mean, that's what we do. If there's a CPU, we slander the CPU. Like, we do slander the CPU. If you don't know, Sid, when me, Sean, and Kyle... No, me, Sean, and Carl. Like, me, Sean, and Fanto recorded videos. We had... I unlisted them, but I'm probably going to unlist them later. But... the recordings, what we did, we always recorded a lot of videos with bots, and we have always tried to just target them. So we lost some two CPUs, but you know, it is what it is. I could do another video editing. I've been wanting to go back to some video editing, so I might just go back to some video editing streams again. I want to try to do this a little more consistently. James.
What?
Are you... Let's see. I either will do a game to try to complete it with the Great Ace Attorney to finish up that session. Mm-hmm. Or we can go into Sword Tour and finish that planet. I know that we're close to either one. That is up to you and Will. I don't know how tired Will is. If Will is up for it, I don't know if you want to play and try to finish up that session. I don't know how long left of that planet is. If it's more than 2 hours, we might be at it for a little bit. Grace is attorney. I can. Tired. So you no Sword Tour tonight?
Correct.
Okay, so then I'm going Great Ace Attorney. We'll finish up that case then at least.
Grace Attorney.
Grace Attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played with Grace in a while. I've been wanting to play back with her, and she's just been busy.
Mm-hmm. Busy.
Shorten down the VODs would make for some cool memories. Oh yeah, no, the VODs I have on my channel, on the group channel, are unlisted, so they are not publicly available unless I give a link to them. I'm probably gonna give I'm probably gonna unlist them because it's been like over a year since they were unlisted. Sean wants them unlisted to edit them down. The issue I have, and this is just my personal opinion, they were at a time and age that they were uploaded at a time and age where some of the commentary are really, have aged pretty poorly. All right, I have edited down a bit to take out some of the more questionable commentary, but there's a couple ones that I probably agree nowadays is probably not a very great thing to have. But again, these were old back in like when we were high school, and back in 2012, a lot of commentaries at that time were, I say very quotations by the way, acceptable on the internet in some ways, but obviously they're still pretty bad to say. So I'm not going to defend our past self. They were again at that time. So please do not take it as what we say then as what we are now. Again, we have grown up. We're much better. We accept that some of our sayings or some of our energetic stuff are not the best. So yeah. So I say that, and that's why I say like it's more of like I'd rather not edit a lot of that, because I mean there's like maybe one or two things I will edit out because they are not exactly great commentary to have, but for the most part all that stuff I feel like is perfectly fine just because they are from that day and age and I uploaded them at that day and age, so it's kind of like more accepted in my book. It's just kind of like a product of this time. So just take it as it. It's kind of like how cartoons back in like the 1940s and 1960s, how they did like some remarks and stuff like that as an acceptable thing. And they sometimes show it on like streaming and stuff like that, but they make they make sexist remarks too, but they make a forefront saying that this is historic. We're not going to change it because people like a little bit of historic accuracy because this was a product of that time. If it was made as of now, yeah, that is really bad. But if it's at that time, it's kind of one of those like, as long as you learned your lesson, I don't think it's overly bad. It's just a history lesson kind of thing. Was gonna say it's best to go Ace Attorney because we only finished a third of that planet. Hoth is a long planet, but with 3 of us, it's not gonna be too long. Okay, I was not sure how long of Hoth there was. I know you said it was one of the shorter ones. That's all I know. At the time and age, they were uploaded at the time and age. Yeah, that's what it's like. I mean, if you want to give it a watch, Sid, I can post a link into the description. At least in this one. Do I have access to it right now? Yeah, I do. If you want to watch some of that playlist, I can link it right now if you want. It is, again, old. It's not gonna come out right away until I start unlisting things. So I am gonna make probably update the description saying that these are old. Do not take these into like actual context. As an idea you could through and making compilation from all the clips. Yeah, and for sure. We actually did a 10th anniversary stream of it, which is why Sean was like against repurposing, like re-putting them back on. But again, like I want to, because at this point in age, it's old. It's back. I uploaded it on 2014, the first episode. We recorded it in 2012. Again, commentary was way better. Yeah, if you want to go watch it, I can put the link in there. It's on. Yeah, I can probably unlist them. I'm probably just gonna double check some of the videos at the very least to make sure that they are relatively okay. There's like at least a couple videos that I will not unlist right away, mainly because that there are some remarks I want to like change, but yeah. Whenever I can at the current moment, but I probably might do all of them at once. Again, I have to rewatch a lot of this just to make sure everything's okay. I'm probably gonna just rediscuss it with my two friends. Again, I am on this realm of it is a product of its time, but Sean is a little bit more hesitant on it. At least this video I can post on the one. This is the only. Oh, actually, no wait. This is not unlisted. This is not unlisted. Hold on. I'm pretty sure this one I'm perfectly fine with unlisting this one. As far as I can tell, this one wasn't really bad. Yeah. Hold on. I thought this was unlisted, but I guess I was wrong on that one. Which one of the videos? I know I have a couple videos that are not unlisted. Give me a second. Which one was it again? Everything is unlisted? I'm pretty... Oh, no, there we go. My pack stays are the only one that's not unlisted. I swear there was like a couple others. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's a montage. You can kind of see what the quality is. They're funny. I think the montage was actually one of my best edits I have done, especially back in the day. I think it's funny. Audio was really, really bad, but I think you will have a laugh. I actually watch it occasionally, and it was like, it's actually a legitimately funny one. It's a good edit.
Here's a snippet of Sean getting run over by a tree.
Oh no, it is legitimately funny. I think you guys will enjoy watching it. Again, I'll probably go back to it. I'm probably going to throw in this talk again with the others, because it's a group channel, and I don't want to be, because I own, or not own, but run the channel mainly. I don't want it to be all my decision making, because it is a group channel. I don't want it to be just because of me. So I'm going to be talking with them, which is also one of the things why I want things to go with it. That's why I want to go back to video editing. And once I finally get an editor to do that stuff, a lot of this stuff will start being pushed out. I honestly think some of our commentary back in the day are some of the funniest things we've ever done. Oh yeah, no, I find it cool as heck. That editing was kind of like, I still find it funny with the edit I did with that montage. I still will say it's some of my favorite edits. Even though I could definitely do it way better nowadays, it's actually legitimately more funny. And some of the commentary we've done was actually legitimately funny. So if you want to give that a watch, I would highly recommend give it a watch. It gives us a taste on how our commentary was, and I say like that is legitimately some of the funniest things and some of the funniest gags we've done. This is me advertising the group channel. There is only one video available, and I still need to do other stuff. So again, if I can get back into editing, which I'm gonna try to do more often. I've been trying to get back into certain things, so video editing has been just one of those things that I need to find a way to get back into it. And I want an editor because I can't always focus on the editing. If I can have an editor, then I don't care how long it takes in some cases, because I like to be more fair with editing, but I don't exactly have the mindset and the time to do it. I'm more of like a director. So there's that. All right, let's go with Ace Attorney. I'm going to switch it over. There we go. Biz, what's up, dude? How you been doing? I don't know if you've been here early on, but I just linked an old montage. I think I might have shared it to you before, but I was just talking about like my old group channel and going to go to a different one. You missed a little bit of Mario Party, but it was kind of fun. How you been doing, Biz? Is it more comfortable to be in the management position staff? Editing is hard work. Kind of maybe I think so. I can't exactly say if it's more comfortable in general, because everyone's different, people really like editing. I say for me, I probably am liking a better in management position. And I'm not saying this because I want to be in more power, more control. Part of it is like I want to be in more control of the things I want to do. But I'm also in like, I don't like to be under people who can't manage well. I actually told this to Biz and other people where I've been under people who really are, I've heard on internet term is like people in leadership positions, not leadership people, like people of leadership. And they just can't do management well. I want to be in the management position where I can able to control all the details of where people can have a comfortable managing position. And when it comes to directing projects, I like doing that. I really do like doing that. Editing, I have like, in a sense, a weird passion for it because I really do like editing. It's just the process of doing it. It's a little bit hard. So having someone there to help with a lot of that stuff is what can help me get through it. It's the same thing with coding. It's the editing and coding I really do like, but the processes is kind of like a little difficult. So I need to get into the mindset of both of those. Then maybe I'd be able to do both. That's why it's kind of like a weird thing. Glad you're doing good, Biz. Hope the weekend's going well. I know we're not going to be meeting on Monday. Like, I got update from Mike, but glad you're doing well. I hope you're well, what's the word I've been doing for? I hope you're enjoying. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the weekend. I don't know. I was so out of it this Friday. Last Friday for work. I was zoning out on my own workload. It was funny. I want to learn how to backflip. I need to learn how to do self-defense too. So I probably should do some of those lessons. I want to do different. I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, but I have a history of doing a bit of video editing clipping. This might be. Hey, no. If you really are interested to give me some edits, here's the thing. I know that editing takes a lot of work. And I'm a person who is like, I do want people who know what they're doing and experience wise, but I also am trying to be an opportunist where like, kind of like in the job market right now, a lot of people are struggling to work and find job positions. And my thing is that I want to give people the opportunity to have experience. So if you're brand new or have a passion to doing the thing, I'm more than happy to give you the chance. If you want to work with me, Sid, DM me, like literally DM me in the Discord. We can talk about it in private and all this stuff. I'll just give you as a note, I am not in any position to pay you. I will try to work something out as a compromise. And I don't want you to do this everything for free. Like, I am not someone who's trying to use you to gain more of anything. So if you're willing to work with some of those conditions for now, feel free to reach out to me. Like, literally feel free to reach out to me. I will be more than happy to discuss everything. So, yeah, DM me and we will just talk about it. I'm very interested in it. There's a few projects I want to do. So, and if you want to be more into it, full on supportive of it, and I will more than happy discuss any kind of compromise we can do within obviously my limitations and your preferences. So again, that's the heads up warning I can say for you, but when I am in the better position, I'll be more than happy to give you the proper compromise and everything. That'll be my actual promise. And this is a promise to anybody who would work under me. If I'm in no position to give a proper pay or anything like that, I will do my hardest and darndest to make sure you guys are not compromised. What's the word? James, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not compromise. It's compensated. Yes, for the work, and I'll just help you guys out. So that's my literal promise from here to the day I die. That is my moral code and my moral goal. I don't care what other people will say about it. I will give. I'll even give up some of my pride to make sure everyone working under me is living and being treated fairly. I'm not trying to be an egotistical, abusive maniac of a manager. If I ever, like, here's the thing, if I ever am one, I hope that my family and friends, like that includes you, James, comes out and I would say literally just slap me across the face.
Oh, I can do that anyway.
Oh, well, why don't we do it like tonight together alone in the dark? But I appreciate everyone that I'm close with. I really do. I wouldn't be who I am and where I'm at without them. So I can't list off every single thing people have done for me. I can't remember every single friend or person who impacted my life. Even those who I talk to on a regular basis, I sometimes forget. But I will always be appreciative of everything. Just as a preface, there's no rush for doing so. I definitely respect those morals, and mutual exchange is very important. Yeah, for sure. So if you are okay with it, then I will full on be as supportive as I can. I also give a heads up because I've never fully had people work under me before. I am a very inexperienced person. So if there's ever a time where you want be criticizing me, please do. I'd say don't try to be harsh because I like to have things a little bit like not as harsh, but at least criticized enough. I can be a sensitive person. But if I'm not being harsh, like I'm not harsh, but I'm not being like critical, specific enough or something like that, or not enough push on it, please let me know. I'll try to fix that. If I'm being a little too pushy, and it kind of like bothers you, please tell me. I want to find a good balance between us. Okay. I remember when we worked out the pay later thing. Yeah, and I appreciate you, Biz. Like, I really do. Like, it's same thing with like the Nintendo Online. I don't want like, I trust all you guys on the family plan. James is on the family plan. Biz, you're on the family plan. Like, when I pay for it, I just tell you guys how much you guys owe me. And I don't, and like, even if you guys ever like are like, hey, I need a little bit of time to get the money, like, I don't care how much you guys owe me. I trust you guys to be like, you guys will get it to me. You guys have been doing it. I don't put interest. I hate putting interest on things. So it's like, get it to me whenever. You got the goods. James, you gave me drug money. I gave you drug money. I gave you internet drugs for in return. I mean, here's the thing. I will admit this on the family plan. When I was doing the calculations, there's actually a couple cents that there's like some amount, like a couple cents for each person and some amount of cents over. And I honestly was like, you know what? A couple cents doesn't really bother me for each person. So that's why I rounded up to like 11 because it's a nice round number. Like,
wait, are you saying you're skimming like a penny off the top?
I'm skimming at like 2 cents out, and then there's like 7 extra pennies over, so it's not like even like 8. So it's like I give you guys discounts anyway. It's not like, okay, cents to me, like asking for you guys to give me 2 more cents each doesn't really feel like it's like necessary. Okay. Like like here's the thing, if you can't pay me through like a card or Venmo and you guys give me physical money, what am I gonna do with 2 pennies?
I know. I was at a. I just
That's my
bought
thought
something
process.
the other day, and I was like, I don't want the penny, and then he gives me the penny, and I'm like, okay, fine.
No, that's literally it. Also, hi Luigi. That's why I'm just like, just give me $11. I'd rather just get like around $11. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We have a full family plan, so doing all the taxes and everything for the expansion pass is about $11 per person. So, I'll try to let you know if we're able to go further in DMs. Then I'll list out my terms and conditions. No worries there. By the way, I appreciate being attentive to sort of things. Yeah, for sure. Like again, Sid, I will more than happy talk about any details, and we will try to see if we can work something out. Jesus Christ, my hands are too cold, dude. Maybe switch rooms because my room is becoming a sauna right now. I'll trade a cold room versus a hot room. I'm literally getting to a point where I might have to I wish I could take off my shirt. Otherwise, I'll be flagged for nudity. Even though I'm wearing shorts. And there were like shirtless people on other streams and stuff like that. Same here. Pennies are not worth. But on Venmo, I'm charging to the pen.
Mm-hmm. There's a whole organization that lobbies for the continued production of pennies, even though they're like just completely pointless at this point.
Yeah, again, Viz, I'm gonna give the option for like dollars as well, because I know that Will is on the family plan, and sometimes he gave me dollars, like physical dollars. So I'm just like, if I ask for pennies from him, if I ask pennies for you guys, but he doesn't get paid pennies, I don't feel like it's fully fair. That's what my thing is. That's why it's like, I give the option for like, if it's physical money you want to give me, fine. If you guys want to do, if we're gonna do like strictly Venmo and stuff, I might just do straight up pennies. So it's like, but again, it's only 2 cents for each person. And also, again, I have 7 pennies, which is not even to every single person. So somebody is gonna get like a discount, a 1 penny discount. Which I might just give it to my brother because I pay for him anyway. He never has to pay for it. My brother gets full access from writing on me. So why would I charge my brother? I love my brother. Feels like I'm in the North Pole. We'll trade room temperatures for 3 balloons. I was gonna say 3 balloons. Balloon. Yeah, sure. Give me a second. Doubloons. How much is a doubloon nowadays, James? Do you know? But yeah, no, yeah, money is one of those things that I try not to charge people unfair amount. And this is the same thing goes with what's the word I'm looking for? My thing about charging people is the same thing with video games. That's what Biz and I did with the PS2, where it's like, what's a fair amount to charge for paying people a console or anything like the sort? And I just feel like a fair exchange. Oh yeah, no, it's like I was like, it was Biz gave me a price on the PS2, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's around like $100, and he gives me like a slight discount, and then I gave him like my full copy of Mario Party 6, which it's like $100 at the time, and he gave me a graphics card, which I was more than willing to pay a little bit extra for that, but he was like, oh, it's a good trade, so it's a clean that. Forgot what we traded in exchange for the keep. Yeah, I haven't heard of the term doubloons in honor. No idea what it means. I mean, doubloons, it's like the currency for like pirating, like kind of like gold coins or something like that. If that's what you mean. We'll take anything you can give me. I'll just need to stop whatever is making me rapid teeth chatter. I'll give you hand warmers. Oh yeah, I forgot about the 3060. Yeah, like I was asking for it, and I was more than willing to pay for some extra, but I gave you like Mario Party 6. Because I think you said you grew up with Mario Party 6. Mario Party 6 has like really good boards. I really do like it. But I kind of like the overall package for Mario Party 7. But Mario Party 6 is a lot of people's favorites. So Take that as compensation. Hey, I will more than happy send you a hand warmer. You know what's funny is like I like the idea of hand warmers, but I hate the execution of them, because I remember trying them and I think they always died out pretty fast for me before they really took off. Like they only last for like a couple hours for me and then they die. And I was like, God dang it, I wish they would last longer than that. That's why I just started wearing like I put them in my like coat pockets and stuff like that. I haven't had hand warmers in like forever personally. I honestly say hand warmers are such a I'm actually curious, what happened to hand warmers nowadays? Rechargeable hand warmers? There's rechargeable hand warmers now? Hey James, you want a rechargeable hand warmer? They're like 20 to 30 bucks. There's like hand warmers that are like 10 to 30, but there's like multiple packs. Why are there hand warmers for women? Is there a difference for women than men? Is there a difference?
Temperature? I don't think so.
Well, I'm pretty sure men have a little bit higher like body heat than women. But is there a difference with the hands? I mean, I guess the size of it, because men's hands are a little bit bigger, but I'm questioning a lot of these products. Also, the magnetic hand warmers are pricey too. Oh, I can see that. Odorless active hand warmers. Well, I've never had hand warmers that smell. They're still around. I see a couple of stores nearby. You know what's funny is like I don't think I've ever seen hand warmers out in the stores. I've just seen them online. Distribution of figure. I'm guessing, honestly. That's what I'm guessing, because like heck, men's hands are a little bit more big and beefy. Could be the same way that the women club. Yeah, true. Jump for James. Jump for James. Hashtag jump for James. I was actually gonna buy a few things recently, like more recently. I was actually considering even getting a brand new PC for this Black Friday, but I realized I should save my money, because if I'm gonna be doing some trips next year, I need to save some money. Unless James, you pay for everything I go for. Do it, James. Pay for me. You're my husband or wife. Unless you're saying we're divorced again. He's not saying no.
What?
That means you will pay for it. Yay.
No.
No. James is being cheap. Trying to figure out some items I need for a sleeper PC. I'm considering getting another PC, because if I have like a dedicated like gaming editing PC, it would be a lot easier for like streaming or anything like that. So I need to do that stuff. Be doing stuff in the background. No worries, Biz. You take care. Have a good rest of your night. And let's play some games later, dude. Hey, if you want to play games later, sometime in the next coming weeks, let me know. I'll see if I can gather the other guys, and we could do like the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero kind of hangout we did before. I really like that hangout. Like that was one of the chillest hangouts we've had, and it was like really cool hangout with the boys. I'll see if I can get Matt on. But yeah, take care, Biz, and I'll see you later. No yawning, James. You're banned from yawning.
Okay.
You can't yawn on my streams. That's the #1 rule on my streams. Will has broken it too many times. I need to go to his house and then order him to give me his stuff in payment. Because apparently a family said, checked my old PC and said we could make a bit more powerful once you get a disk drive out of it. Yeah, this, like, here's the thing. Disk drive is pretty much useless nowadays. The only reason you'll do a disk drive is you want to play classic PC games, or, and I do know this is a thing, if you don't have a disk drive for some ROMs that are not properly worked around, like Pajama Sam 4 on Steam, for example, or you want to play the games directly, as I said, like CD, like Pajama Sam 4 on Steam cannot be ran unless you have a disk drive connected to your PC, but you can get an external disk drive piece for your PC really easily, and they're really cheap. So having a no disk drive is pretty much a standard, and for pretty much a 90% of the games nowadays. And yeah, you can probably make it more powerful. The biggest things to make it more powerful are CPU, GPU, and RAM. Motherboard is highly recommended to upgrade to the latest one or one of the most expensive ones when you can, because that will last you for like years. I think my PC, when I got my PC when I graduated. Yeah, I got when around graduated, like graduation gift kind of, like I think 2019, 2020. I think it was like 2019, honestly. And it has lasted, like I've had that motherboard, it's the same motherboard for 5 years, and it still can go farther. I think the CPU I've added to it is the furthest it will go though, so I have to upgrade it, but I might rework it, this PC, because I think I still have my 1660 still. Oh no, James has my old CPU. I did give you my old CPU, so I don't have my old CPU anymore. I have to get a new CPU. And I need RAM sticks, which I plan to get like some better RAM sticks, so I might be able to give it to the other one. So basically I need a new CPU, I need a new motherboard, I need the new RAM, and then obviously the case and the power brick, which are not overly expensive depending on where you get it. The main thing that might be challenging is the PC stuff is a bit small. Yeah, small PCs are hard to do because you need a small motherboard, and there's a lot less workaround with them, so you need to work with smaller GPUs. My best recommendation to you, Luigi, is first get a brand new case. Cases, get a big case, so even if you have a lot of space, it's better to upgrade through those, because then you get a better GPU and stuff like that. Cases can range from like good big cases can range from like a little less than 100 to like 200, 300. I would recommend getting around the $100 range, $150 range, and there's Black Friday coming up. They can go pretty cheap, so if you can get a good one, and it just has to be big. You don't have to like go all out. Obviously there's better ones based on circulation, how you go with the wiring, how it opens, and all that stuff. There's a lot of different ones. Recommendation, Corsair is pretty good on cases, so if you ever wanted to look at some pretty decent cases for a good price, Corsair can be pretty good on some cheap, especially with Black Friday coming up. That's my recommendation. Obviously go with what you want to go with when you build a PC. It's one of those things you guys should decide on your own. I'm leaving it just chat. I've been leaving it just chatting for a while. Why? Bless you. Recommend it. Lean Lee, factual design. Oh, and NZXT, I've heard some really good things too. That's one of the other cases. I was thinking Corsair or NZXT. God dang it, Nixt? That does sound not that right. I'm going to say NX. NZ. Frick. NXZXT. God dang it. Why does names have to be so complicated? I don't know about Lian Lee. I wouldn't say I've never heard of them. I probably have seen some of the designs. I know NZXT is pretty good. I've seen some good reviews for them. Corsair is pretty good. Actually, what is my PC? I actually legitimately do not remember what was my PC case. Hey James, can you give me back my old CPU?
What?
What? Give me back my old CPU, dude. I need it again. I'll give you $2. All right, I'll give you $3. How about that, James?
Oh, what?
I'll give you $3 for my CPU.
Nope.
All right. You pull my leg, but $5. Man, James runs a hard bargain. What was the... I'm actually curious about my case again. I forgot what my case is. I'm legitimately curious now of what was my case. Corsair cases are good in general. Surprising that you haven't heard of Lian Lee before. There's a specific case that always says out near me. Really? It's a... Oh, let me look at that up. I might have seen it. Lian Lee. Is that... cool. Mesh 2. RGB. Let me see. Do I know this one? I think I've seen this one before. I've definitely seen this one. It has dual side too. I'm fairly certain I've seen Lian Lee's like products before. It looks really good. Might consider it too. The reason why I probably never heard of Lian Lee because I've never paid attention to the name. Besides the double tempered glass panel, it's beautiful. It is a very beautiful structure. I can agree with that. There it is. My computer case is the Fantex Eclipse P400. That's a long name. Fantex. Fantex is the computer case. It's pretty solid. I haven't had really many problems. It's the only problem I say is that it has some tighter spaces for some of the cable management, especially on one side. Oop, my bad. So it's not exactly the perfect one for cable management specifically. That's why I was like thinking of maybe a different case, so it's slightly bigger, so I have more cable management. Besides, very true. Do you like to look at statistics of parts, then see what works best for each other? When I first made mine, I kind of just went with whatever was like looked nice and big. Probably for my next one, for a case, I want it to be big. Easier access to both sides of the case. So I don't mind it being like tempered glass or anything. That's fine by me. I want it just be easy to have to open up, and probably a little easier to pull in some cables so that I can move around with RGB, place them in there. Because when I was working with my buddy Fanto, a lot of the spaces were a little bit difficult for him because how tight it is in certain areas. So not the best, but it was fine enough. I do have a cooler flan. I just called a fan a flan. I do have a cooler fan, so I just really need a CPU, a motherboard, and new RAM. Well, obviously I need a new power bank and then a case. So I have 5 parts I can easily get. The most expensive would be the motherboard and the CPU. The RAM is just getting it for my current PC. I don't think I can get with DDR5, so I might have to just switch the motherboards with that. Interesting. Well, we will see. I don't think my motherboard is like not 4. It's at this point 5 years old. So I don't think it can probably do DDR5 anyway, so I might have to put it in the other one. It's a nice case. Looks like a case from 2018 to 2020. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty nice one. At the time, were you considering the AIO for a build? AIO. What the heck is AIO? Oh, is the AIO coolers? Is like the little CPU cooler and the fans up top? I honestly did not know those were existed. At that time, I did not know those existed. I now have multiple fans. I probably would consider those as a good cooler next for my next build, but obviously, again, I don't want to go over budget, and those things can be decently expensive. And I've also heard they are sometimes iffy depending on which ones they are. The top looks a bit small, and there's no USB-C port, but it's not really the issue. Yeah, so the top doesn't have a USB-C. At the time, I didn't care about having a USB-C. I didn't realize having a USB-C port might be useful. So I never was thinking. I mean, in a sense, I don't need it. I have adapters and I have different cables. So USB-C has never been a big issue for me. I know it can be useful, so I get it. And probably I wouldn't mind having it as a feature. My motherboard has it. Luckily, there is one motherboard port in it because I actually have a VR headset. Where the heck did I put that VR headset? I don't know. I have the Oculus. Hold on. Yeah. At the time, there was only one cable to use Oculus on my PC because I want to try the VR stuff on my PC, which I'm going to try to go back to. This has a USB-C and USB-C. I tried it. I thought I needed like a USB-C to USB-A adapter. Luckily, I found that there's a USB-C port on the back of my motherboard. Yeah, I got the official cable. I kind of like going with official stuff, even though they're more expensive, and I like to go with more new, even though I could go with used. I do have the MetaQuest 2. At the time, it was the best, and I still want it. I barely used it, so it's kind of one of those like it's same thing with this mic. I'm starting to use it now, but I bought some of this stuff way too early, so I might have like could have saved some money, but I have a MetaQuest 2. The two reasons why I wanted it, outside of just playing in VR, well, yeah, no, it mainly is like I want to play with VR and play on Steam VR stuff because Beat Saber was something I really, really enjoyed, and then Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alex was something I do like the Half-Life universe, so I want to try it. I just haven't gone around to play it. And it also is mobile, so it's not like I get a Valve Index or like HTC, HVC, whatever, those ones that are strictly around you. So it was at the time was the best, good for the bang the buck, mobile, and I could do a lot of that stuff. And the other thing is that I could develop in VR, so it was like the best choice at the time. Yeah, no, if I had if I bought it around now, I would try to go for MetaQuest 3. But at the time, MetaQuest 2 was the only available, like, best option. I got the highest 256 gigabyte, I think, one. I'm not gonna get a MetaQuest 3. I can confirm that I'm not gonna get it because MetaQuest 2 is good enough. There's nothing really I want to be like super on point, and I'm not a high-end VR headset like user and developer for. So it's one of those things. Is like it's not gonna be on my list for a very, very long time. And even then, I might want to go for like the Microsoft HoloLens for augmented reality. Have play card games and stuff like that. So, yeah, MetaQuest 3, as much as I could say. Yeah, no, I want to try it. If I could work for Valve, I would love to work on like other games with them. I know they can develop the games. They has option to develop the games. I would love to work on other games for them. I wouldn't be mind being the only developer for some of them. I just need to get my footing. But Half-Life Alex was is interesting thing. I want to try it. I want to try it with Valve Index still, but I don't have the space in this apartment to do that. Like, as you can see, my bed is right here, and then like not too far away from me is my desk, and this is how much space I have to the desk. There's not a lot of space here. So, I'm in no position to really use VR develop. But that's why I like the Quest 2. I can kind of move around, but also go out there and try to do other stuff. If you don't have a Quest 2, yeah, Quest 2 is perfectly fine versus a Quest 3. Like if I had a choice, if I had the time, I would consider Quest 3. Yeah, like Quest 3 has better hardware, so it's a little bit smoother experience. I've seen some of the video on that, and it has higher quality and has better like camera on the outside. I full agree on that, but I got my Quest 2. Shoot, I don't even remember when I got my Quest 2. Hold on. I think I've gotten like I got the silicon thing at 2021. I think I got during the pandemic when I was spending a little bit. I think I got it like in 2020, early 2021. That's I think where I got my MetaQuest 2, and that is around the I think like MetaQuest. When was MetaQuest 3 out? It was unveiled in June. Like, so it was released last year in October 10th. When was MetaQuest 2 released? October 13th, 2020. Oh, okay. So yeah, I did get it in around end of 2020, early 2021. So I got it like near its beginnings life cycle.
I think we need to be.
No, take me with you, James. Let me sleep and your phone on.
Have a good night.
Good night, James. Thanks for joining.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just checking my phone. Yeah, that's around the same time I got mine. Oh, really? Nice. You got a Quest 2 too. Do you have a Quest? Do you have a Quest 3? We're evolutioning for its time, because yeah, that's what I heard. That's why I was like, when I was looking at it, if I'm gonna invest in the VR headset, I'll get the best at the time and get the highest gigabytes. I usually go for the highest gigabytes because it's a long-term investment. It's like not necessarily I would get a lot of things on there. But if I were to develop again, like if I develop in VR, it'll be like a big investment to that. So that's why I kind of just like did it. And especially with games nowadays being so much bigger, it was definitely a good investment in my book. Oh, you don't have any AA batteries. Luckily, AA batteries are cheap and way better than they used to. I'm not using my Meta Quest 2. I actually pulled it out, try to play it again and try to use it. Here's the problem. I don't remember my Facebook password, and I do not want to reset the password again. Like, I'm trying to remember what Facebook password I use because I haven't logged into my Facebook in a while. It's not because I don't use it. I do use it on occasion just to check on people, especially since I mainly chat with Sean on Messenger. But I forgot. I don't really log in because on my app and everything else, I just automatically say yes. And I haven't been able to log in. I never logged in for like years, and I forgot that my password because I haven't touched my MetaQuest in like a couple years, and so I had to do a lot of things. So I forgot my password, and I'm trying to remember it. I might just end up just forgetting it and redoing everything. I just don't want to log into all my devices again. But I kind of have to do it. I kind of want to use it though to use the Steam Link, so I don't have to keep connecting it, and I might be able to play out there. But I want to see how that is. So. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not able to run Steam VR, PC VR consistent basis because I don't have a good graphics card. What is your graphics card? Now, no. I mean, better to do it now than later. I think you should, for the convenience sake. Yeah, I should. But it's a lot of pain and work. Let's shrug. Currently in a low proxy GTX 1650, which is pretty sad. Is that bad? Because I thought like I have a 16. Oh, okay, so my last other graphics card was 1660 Ti, so it is slightly better. It was actually really good middle ground for. I thought it was like 1680. Or like 1608, but I realized that's not make sense. So mine's a 1660. Would it be worth it now? No, I get it. I do have a 1660. It was also a good one to use for VR stuff. I have tested that before because I plugged my Meta in. I call it Oculus. If you're looking to build a PC. I mean, a 1660 at the time helped me, and I got the 3060 because my buddy Biz was willing to give it to me. So it worked out really well. Again, we cut deal and everything. So I have a thought on it though. So yeah. So I'm not using it right now. It's literally just sitting in my closet back there. So yeah. I think I have an idea for it now. I'm gonna wait on that later. But yeah, no, the 1660, I think it's pretty solid, and I still say it's pretty solid nowadays. Obviously, it won't play certain games because the minimum of some of them are like the 20 series, and that's some higher end games like Starfield or whatever. That is if you really, really want to play those. But I still say in some cases you can probably lower the graphics to medium or even low if you don't really care about the high end graphics and physics. 1660 is really solid for a lot of games nowadays, and I've used it for. I got my 3060 last year, I believe, from Biz. So at least last year. So it lasted me for a few years, and it was solid to playing a lot of games, and I was able to stream, I was able to video edit, and a lot of different things. So it was stress tested. So it was actually a really good, and I still think it's solid because, again, as long as the game is not like super graphic heavy and it's trying to be a graphic heavy game, it's solid intro graphics card in my books, because it's definitely on the cheaper end now, and it'll save you a few bucks. Obviously, the 20 series is probably more preferable nowadays for like a beginner PC, but again, 1660 is a good budget piece graphics card nowadays, and I will stand by that. The 20 series are decent for mid-tier bidders. I think the 30-40 series might be overtake. No, I definitely agree. Like, the 20 series is barely a jump from the 10 series, if I recall correctly. The 16 series, the 1080 series, like, at the time, it was not that much worth. I definitely say it's one of those, like, if you have the budget for 30 series, it's better for that. 40 series and 30 to 40 series is barely a jump, and especially since the 40 series is the most recent one, and at the current time it's probably the most expensive one. I would recommend the 30 if you have the budget. 20 series is only worth if you want to get a little bit higher end and make sure a better chance to play a lot more games or handle a lot more like stressful software. Otherwise, I say the 16 series is still perfectly fine for pretty budgeted PC. I would say so personally. 20 series is like the 40 series to the, like, yeah, it's like basically to 16 to 20. 1080 is like really cheap nowadays, and I don't recommend it that much nowadays. So I would say 1660 Ti. But like if it's 16 to 20, depends on how much of a budget spent you want. And if it's 30, it's 16, 20, or 30. Try 30 for a longer term. And all that stuff, because if you get 16, it's best you want to upgrade sooner. If it's 20, it's not it is not you won't need to upgrade that soon, because a lot of games minimum the maximum minimum graphics I've seen is the 20 series. I haven't seen any minimum graphics the maximum minimum graphics be 30 series or up. That's a current moment. It might get there soon, but I haven't seen that. 30 and 40, again, depends on your budget. 30 is a pretty good long-term one. 30 and 40 are, I would say, long-term ones, because you won't need to necessarily change graphics. And as you said, they might overtake it, the 20 and 16, but it's like it's more of a long-term investment, and you don't need to really change after those, because graphics are not going to be like pushing those limits for a long time for the average game, especially since it's like average people who play now is God, what's the word? I lost my train of thought. Much agree. I mean, even now, 16 series is good to carry the average non-intensive gamer. Yeah, for sure. Through a lot of mainstream. Yeah, and that's why I say, like, especially like if you are not going for like the biggest mainstream games, which some people, like I would say a good amount of people nowadays are, because of games being really expensive, games also being really graphically heavy, a lot of storage space is needed. I honestly say with a lot of people with games, we probably want to wait for a cheaper price for like after a year or two kind of thing. So it's one of those like, it's 1660 is probably going to be more so for them playing like the older games and like indie games. Indie game scene is really, really big now, especially if you get like a good indie game out there. It's like, oh, hey, this is really exciting. Like games like Dave the Diver and Hades kind of thing have been really not graphically intensive, but looks great, and you don't need even a 1660 to run those games. Most of them aren't insanely demanding though, with exceptions of Black Myth, Wukong, and the God War Ragnarok. Yeah, like again, as you said, like some of those games are designed to be graphically intensive. God of War and Black Myth, I think, were developed for PS5, and that's a already graphically intensive one. So, and like Starfield, like it was for Xbox. Like again, like some games are designed for being graphically intensive. I get that, and some of them are crazy. Sometimes like Borderlands series uses a lot of graphic stuff. Crysis is heck of a demanding game, especially back in the day. So, it is one of those things that it depends on the game, and indie games have been the forefront for a lot of those. So I would say it's definitely one of those. It depends on the game, but a lot of games I don't think it's graphic. And I even am a believer on a lot of like those games. You can probably lower down the graphics. Again, I played on my original first laptop, a Dell Inspiron. I don't remember. It's like XPS or whatever. It was a really poor laptop to use play any games. I tried. I asked my parents to buy me a Lenovo laptop that was more game heavy in 2014. And it was good because it lasted for a long time. I managed to play games, I stream, and a lot of that stuff, even though it was really difficult. And in Spyron, I managed to push GTA 4, which at the time was pretty graphically heavy and intensive, for like 20 FPS, sometimes 30, on medium graphics. Yeah, and again, it depends on the gamer, as you said. Like, some people care about having the most high quality stuff, even up to 4K, which honestly doesn't really have much of a difference. And you can't really get 4K unless you have a actual system that can do 4K, and have a cable that can do a 4K, and a display or TV that can do a 4K. Like, you need a lot of different things for that. And yeah, it's not really worth in my book. So and lower graphics, it's less intensive on your computer, whatever you're doing. Again, it depends. If you're just there for gaming, cool. You can go for that high end. If you're going for like various workloads, streaming, video editing, other stuff like coding, machine learning, those are pretty intensive, and yeah, they can take a while. Agreed. Yeah, no, for sure. I honestly, there's a lot of things about gaming, and that's why I also like console gaming, that I don't have to depend on graphics. This is why some games I like to play on like retro consoles, SNES Mini, for example, for me. I even have like DS consoles, even though I try to avoid emulation. I have my Steam Deck, I have my Xbox and PS5, which I know there are games like God of War Ragnarok or Forza 4 or 5. I really like those games. They can graphically heavy, but I also try to use them as often to, like, my thing is like, I want games to be designed for certain consoles to be played on those consoles. And if there's no really big preference, I just try to pick a preference on what console I would like to play them on, and so forth. It's definitely a preference thing. But But there's so many different games out there. There's like various different ways. It just heavily depends on what kind of gamer / person you are with your PC build to see how much of it needs to be like, oh, for work or for school. That joke. I never used my PC for work or school. I flat out said to my dad, who helped buy it, is like it. I wanted it as a graduation gift kind of thing. All right, time to actually start some Great Ace Attorney because I waited long enough for it. Should probably start it. The developers make great games, and supporting creators is respecting their work. Yeah, that's. I have a personal opinion, which is where I prefer getting the games physically before. I'll say this right now. I say if you want to get some retro games or play them, consider emulation. I'm not gonna say what you get, where you get it. I'm just gonna say that because technically there's a lot of legalities for it. I'm just gonna say do whatever means. Hopefully it's legal to do the things you want. Because some retro games are very expensive nowadays, especially if you're in USA. If it's in Europe or Japan, you guys don't need to look. I like to get the physical games on the consoles, like, or at the very least official consoles like the SNES Classic, like the Secret of Mana. That is a decently getting expensive game for a loose cartridge for like $100 or getting close to it. I have both the full box copy and this, and I'd rather personally play it on the physical console, or if I can't record it with a physical console, I'd rather get the game first before I start like emulating it, because in my personal moral thing, I like to buy the game to quote unquote support the developer, even though none of the money goes to the developer. I like to buy it because they developed it on the console. That's my moral code. I get it. People will have questions. People don't get it. I do it as a supporting the developers when they made the game. And honestly, I'd rather do that instead of just like emulating, because I can emulate any game technically. I just try not to. To not get me in trouble, not that I care, I do emulate variety games, which is perfectly fine. I'm not dissing anybody who emulates. There's so many different reasons for people emulation. My only thing I don't like people do with emulations, and this is I will flat out say it right now. I'll show do my camera first. The only thing I don't support in emulations is that with current gen consoles like the Switch, do not emulate unreleased games. I don't support that kind of attitude towards people, because developers made games and they have an idea when they want to release it. If you emulate beta games or do it release and try to put it online before it fully releases, that's more of a dick move. So I don't support people who emulate unreleased games. I like developers, and a lot of developers put a lot of passion into games. Not all of developers are dickbags. Some they are just heads and do that, or really bad. I just don't emulate recently released games. Personally, I would say just wait a little bit before you emulate those. Even wait a console generation, really. Like, if you're archiving it, fine. I support archiving it. But if you're there to just emulate games, to not support the developers, or just get them for free because of whatever reason, I'm not really into that. It's mainly specifically current gen. If it's past generation, that's a little bit more acceptable. But unacceptable to me is beta, whatever. That's something I don't want. I don't support. No matter what people say as an excuse, I don't support that. To not get me in trouble. The retro games are so enjoyable. If I had an idea of how fun they are, then I just have to watch you. Yeah, no, for sure. And if there's ever a game you suggest me getting, or if long enough you build up the points for it, I'm planning to maybe put on a point system for less points where you can do like a gamble and we can do a fortune cookie and see what game it would be your request if you want to do that. Because 100K is for an actual specific game you want me to play, but I might do a gamble one where you can be like, let's pick a random one. And it could be one of the most randomest games I have in my collection. And it could be also a retro one that you may be interested in. Who knows? I'm sure that we've talked about this before, but I love able to recreate authentic experience. And yes, I'm pretty sure we did, but that's exactly my thing. Yeah, I agree. Saw online Mario Luigi Bros. And I don't agree with that. I saw that there was a Zelda Legend Echoes of Wisdom was already being released 2 weeks before Nintendo took that down. People hate on Nintendo for taking down emulation, Switch emulation. I'm like, Nintendo is in full right, and I will support them taking down a full-on ROM of an unreleased game. It is illegal, and you can get in so much repercussions because of that. So yeah, I don't fully support unreleased games, especially like even like the Giga hack with Pokemon. They already put the beta out for Legends Z8, and I'm just like, dude. Then there's also already stuff with Gen 10, and I'm just like, I didn't look at any of it. And I'm just like, if it was beta like Gen 2, I'm kind of okay with kind of that stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of leaks, but I'm also like interested in those kind of things. But if it's like stuff it's not even fully developed or released, dude, just don't. I don't care what your reason is or how interested you are. You're just like a a-hole. People worked hard on this. Like, again, not everyone on the development team are agreeing with decision making or whatnot, but a lot of them have passion. I'm trying to be a passionate game developer too. I don't care what reason people give. People work their butts off to give some of the best experiences. Scarlet and Violet may not be the best and stable game. I will fully agree with that. They should have done more development time with it. But it has a lot of passion in it. It does. And if you look past the glitches, it does have a lot of passion. This may not be for everyone, but it is passionate. So don't be a dickbag. Again, I would say if you want to emulate games, emulate. I prefer you do it after the generation is over, or like a previous generation and onward. Like, if you can't fully support developers, maybe wait before you emulate it. Or if you want to play original, like older games, fine, emulate it. I'm fine. Again, the USA at least market is super expensive, but emulation is a option only in a very specific scenario. That's why I'm just saying, do not emulate current gen. At least I prefer you don't, because there's a lot of reasons why I would say it's not a good idea. That can be so demotivating because people are, yeah, no, I've been in some of those situations too. So don't do it. The story in that game was beautiful. Mice is very sad. Yeah. Scarlet and Violet is exactly how I feel. It's one of my favorite stories I've ever played in any Pokemon game. I might have to replay Sun and Moon because my brother still puts that high, but I honestly, in story-wise, I kind of put it as my favorite story because I relate to it so much. I like Black and White's story because it was super complicated, serious, but it's not as relatable. I need to replay Sun and Moon. I honestly didn't like it when I first played it, but I was just kind of like in a bad mindset of that. So not in like a bad time. I think it was just a bad mindset. So I honestly will just have to replay it. I might just have to play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but my brother hates Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon's story because it it basically lessened a lot of Lily's story. I still need to do stream X and Y, so I might go back and play Sun and Moon again. So I might have to see that. But Scarlet and Violet story, I think it is top tier for Pokemon games, and I think people should play it just for the story at the very least. If you can't get past the graphics, fine. I understand that it is pretty horrendous, but again, it is pretty fun and stable enough to enjoy it. Yeah, and I think that's probably one of the reasons. Again, if I replay games, I will give a fair review again. I have a different mindset now, so there was that. But X and Y is I'm looking forward to. Like, again, it's I'm very passionate about game development, and people dissing on game development don't understand fully what it takes to be a game developer. And no matter what generation of game developers there is a matter of respect I like to do. Anybody who works in that industry, voice actors, directors, creative directors, like anybody, even the people who are like interns or like people who program, like fix bug tester, beta testers or whatever, like people who test the games. Everyone works hard in making the game experience as good as possible within the budget and time they are given. Sometimes that budget and time is not fair because of higher ups or stuff literally out of their control. Like, I want to be a game developer who makes a company. I want to make a game company. I really do. That's my passionate, and I want to do that at least sometime within the next couple decades. And I want to make games that not only are fun, but make sure that everyone doesn't have as stressful as a time. I can't get rid of crunch time. I can guarantee that no matter what kind of budget, there has to be a crunch time, because in my personal opinion, games should not take too long. When you announce a game or have an expectation of a game, you shouldn't be developing it too long, because there is a certain point where it starts aging. Or like it gets too long to a point where it starts like getting a little bit dragged on. So I'm trying to like, there has to be a good schedule and time development for it. It's kind of like movies and shows and stuff like that. I don't want it to drag on. But at the same time, I do not want people to be stressful out. I think there has to be a good balance of pushing people for a dedicated time where it's like you push it out in time. Because again, if you put it too lax, people might lax too much. So a good balance. And I don't want people to be stressed out. I don't want people to be pushing. But again, if it's out of a budget, like out of times where it's like we're running out of budget, we have to push this out no matter what, or like higher up stockholders, stakeholders and whatever, it's just, yeah, it's something that I will do my personal darndest to make sure everyone's okay. Absolutely. Not only do I find it morally long, but playing a game in an unstable state creates a more unenjoyable experience. Yeah, and again, like it's one of those things, like just play a game when it's released to the public and perfectly fine. I miss the days where the internet was not too spoiled on many things. This is why it's like nowadays the internet is just way too much, because once a game is released ever, it will get spoiled on the internet super fast. And I'm just like, I miss the days where it wasn't that big of a deal. Game development is constantly challenging. I give them praise for brutal. Yeah. And it is very brutal. There are stories, and I still would believe there are stories, where people have been stressed out. People have been depressed. I've even heard stories of people's families and friends abandoning them because of how bad the game development was back in the days. I would still believe that's probably same thing nowadays. So don't give people crap because you think this company is being a bad. Not everyone in that company is bad. If you want to say who's bad, do the people who are leading the charge, because they're the ones who are making the most of the decisions. You make a good match. I appreciate it, Sid. You go for a passionate man. I would love to see you create things. I really do want to. I'm not in any position. I really hope I can make a big break soon to do that. I want to be one of the people who start making some changes in the industry, because again, I am passionate for people to get in. Again, it's one of those things that people are passionate and they're so passionate, but there's a lack of opportunity. I want to give the people who have zero experience, at the very least, the opportunity to be like, hey, is this something you want to do? And if you are, you got to show me the dedication and passion. And if you do, I'll give you chances to build up your skills, experience, and then you can go wherever you want and you have that stuff behind you. Like, you have it on your back, you have it on your resume, go for it. And again, I want to give people the chance to be like, to do the things they want to do. If they want to be in like a minimal position, but they're having fun and getting contribution, fine. If they want to be a leadership position, fine. I want everyone on a development team. Like, I actually am. So I am actually developing a game. I am not revealing it on stream. It's all secretive until I feel comfortable revealing it. I am developing a game that is pure passionate. I know I haven't touched it for like about a year or more, because so much things about this past year was really bad. But I want to develop a game that I feel very passionate about, and I don't want, no matter what position you are in a game, my game dev group, I say everyone has a say in it. If you're a part of the group in any way, making any contributions, you have a say in something. Like, if you disagree with something, I want to hear it. Even if it's something like, I don't feel like this is right, I want to hear it. Because I believe everyone on a team who agree on making something great, like, I want to hear everyone's opinions, because we may not agree on everything, but if you don't agree on everything, you get different opinions that can make a product really good, a project really great. Conflicting opinions can lead to something really, really good. That's where it's like, I want to have like opinions battle against mine. I don't want being like a George Lucas when he made the first prequel episodes. Because people just went with it, but people disagreed because they didn't want to go after him. Like, if you just tell me what's your opinions, maybe you can convince me. If it doesn't convince me, then fine. I will listen to you. If you convince me, then I will change. Like, I will compromise, I will change, I will at least hear you out. And I will make my own argument if I feel like I have a better argument. So, I don't care if you are like, even the, like, if I were making a company and you're at the very bottom, like an intern level or contract position, you have a say in something. I don't care. I like opinions, and I try to make sure everyone has an opinion to say something. Because I think everyone's opinions matter, even if it's like something as minimal as, I just don't like this. Because that means maybe something can be done. If there's something can't be done, then obviously we can't always agree with everyone, but we can at least try. It doesn't hurt to try a little bit if you have the time and money. Leaked real, exposed, we'll crack it before we release date. Oh, complain about bugs. Hey, if you complain about bugs, that gives good feedback. But unfortunately, there's not much to leak, I will say. That's one thing. I am very passionate about it, though. It is a game that I want to make, hopefully within the next decade or two. But also, I will do it at the very least before I die. At least I hope before I die, because I don't want to die early, but I hope I can get it done and dealt with so that people can be like, hey, this is really, really good. Yeah, it's like, if it's unreleased, it has problems. If it's released, then it has bugs. You can make some complaints, but at the same time, every developer, again, has a budget and time. If there's clear budgeting and time issues, I don't know if I can fully blame developers. Again, every situation is different. There are people who make a bad game just because it's just bad. People uncaring. People want to cash grab. Yeah, cool. All right. Make a game in like less than a year or a year nowadays. That's really tough. And especially with how big some projects can be. If you push a game too fast, it gets buggy. It's guaranteed to get buggy. If you push a game too long, it loses its traction and it can be really buggy. Duke Nukem Forever is a big example of that. Again, there's a lot of reasons. That's why I like, when it comes to games, I want to see it, how passionate it is, what's the situation with it, and was it really a bad situation. Like, if it's like movie games, those are easy cash grabs. If it's like bad games in general, like the Kong Skull Island game, that's just like, that has a whole issue problems right there. if it's Scarlet and Violet situation, that's not the developer's fault. Maybe Nintendo, maybe Pokemon Company, maybe shareholders, I don't know. But there's like a lot of leadership problems with that. But you can tell Passionate was put in that game. They just didn't have the time for it. They have the budget, but they didn't have the time. That's why I'm so glad that Gen 10 is not coming out next year. Yeah, I mean, if you DM me, I don't mind sharing some details about it. If you are very, very interested in, again, I'm more than happy to take on anybody who wants to be passionate about it. Again, it's a passionate game. You're not going to get paid for any development time during the production of it. And I am been very bad at leading it because the direction is still all there. And I have had a really bad year. So, that's one thing. But, if anyone who has ever developed on any of my projects, I will promise your compensation. One way or another, I will give compensation. And that's why with the game, I will not pay anyone because I don't even have the money to pay anybody. I need to live. Thank you very much. But I do promise that if the game gets a good amount of money and sells, I will give everyone their dues with a portion. Promise that. I don't care how much money it gets. Everyone will get their portion. I fully am not going to be cheaping out. It's like, oh, you barely did anything. You don't get any money and royalties and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be that dick bag. If it sells like 10 copies and we get like $100 for everyone gets a fair share. Even if you get like a few bucks or something, like I don't care. Everyone contributed into something. It gone out. It's there. That's my personal thing about it. So again, I'm very passionate about game development, and when I become a leader in a group, I want to make sure that I am not a leader that is just sitting on a throne and ordering people to do my own bidding. I'm in a leadership position that helps push people forward from behind, pushing them to do the things that they get greater, or going forward and taking the full blunt on a lot of things, whether it be leading them how to do things or taking on all the hate. I want everyone to be equally treated. Like, that's my leadership philosophy. So I'm passionate about people's lifestyles. Most definitely, it's a topic for discussion to the state of it all. Yeah, I'm going to be working towards the project when I can. I'm trying to get back into it. I'm slowly getting back in coding, which is one of the things I wanted to do in streams. So yeah, I will get back into it when I can, and I want to be very, very on top of it. So I've discussed this whole bit. I've been passionate about it for years. I'm not joking. I've been talking about it for like almost a decade now of doing it. Technically, developing it has been a decade. The introduction thought has been about a decade or more. I know it's still in the cards, by the way. Yeah, no, it is. It's a lot of talking. That's why I haven't gone to it. If it was just straight up gameplay, I would have just played it by now. That's why I do the voice acting. But it's still on the cards. I'll still play it. I'll still beat the section. I just have the passion to talk about this. Sorry for those who've been wanting to watch Ace Attorney. I know with VOD, this is going to go back and forth between games, and I do apologize to that with like Future Emoto and other people viewers and stuff like that. But it is, I do have a passion about game development and a lot of this stuff. I respect people's decision making. Well, I respect a lot of people's lifestyles as much as I can. And I do want people to have fun with the projects I do and all that stuff. So if there ever is a lost in passion, I want to know why. If that might be on my end, fine, blame me. I'm really bad at managing right now, but I'm inexperienced, so I still need to get better at that. And the best part about it is to really find ways to get back into the passionate and find a straight up passionate about it, and straight up God, I'm losing my words. Have fun with all that stuff. I say it's been an idea floating around for a decade. The idea for developing it probably less than a decade, but really started like a few years ago. So again, it's really one of those, like, I have a lot of things to go around with it. It might say that you have towards related, might have be a broken record, but again, no, and I really do appreciate it. It really does. I do really do appreciate it. I just sound like a broken record that I say, I promise I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, blah, blah, blah. I know that I've been lacking on it, and I say this stuff, and it feels like I'm just saying it, but I really do have a passion for it. I just want to find my groove into things, and sometimes I just need really good help with that. So yeah, it's gonna be a thing one way or another. I hope it can be soon. I just want it to be out there because I think it's not one of those things is that I just want to get out there or like I try to just get a game out there just to get experience or anything like that. I genuinely have a passion for it, and I fully believe, I really do believe I have a really good idea. I just need to get it to the point where I feel so confident that I can feel like I can announce and release it and be really good at developing it. It's basically like once I have the idea and once I'm ready to announce and showcase it, that's when I will be like, hey, here's the idea and everything. Here's the aspect of it and everything. It's coming out soon, I promise you. And I'm trying not to be like a Kickstarter stuff like that, because I don't know, I don't want to overpromise, and Kickstarter is a little bit iffy because if I do a Kickstarter, then I have to get things set up for it, and it's a lot more planning. I want to do it where I want to make a game where I don't overpromise and underdeliver. So there's a lot of that. So again, it's one of those, like, I have personal feelings about it. I know Fanto has mentioned about it, but it's one of those things that I have a confident idea that people will like it. And as far as I've told people, everyone has loved that idea. Everyone loves the idea, even the team, like outside the team, in the team, like everything. Everyone loves the idea. So I am very confident in my idea. I'm very certain that I can make it really good and everyone would like it. And I'm not just saying this because I'm being biased. I legitimately think it's a really good idea. So say what you want about it. I'm a believer of it. Definitely community and the people around you help build it. And that's what it is. I'm not here to look for money. I know getting money is a thing for businesses, and understandable. You should make money, especially for giving your team a financial option. Again, I want to compensate everyone who worked on it. Yeah, and it's it's a project that I will want to. I just want to get out there for people to play, because I think people will enjoy it. Like people like you too, Sid. I think you will enjoy it too. I mean, I don't know fully your types of games, what you prefer, but I think you still would be interested in trying it because you have been interested in different types of games. So I think it'll be something that at least you might want to watch online or something like that. If you want to watch online, that's perfectly fine. I just want to put it out there for people to be like, hey, this is a really cool game. This is a really cool idea. Because I've watched games on stuff like before because I couldn't afford it, or I wanted to see what it was before I buy it, or I just never bought it before. Like, I still would say it's pretty good or something like that. So yeah, that's my personal takes on stuff. 100% support that. I've definitely just been playing a lot more single player games. I really enjoy playing Hollow Knight and recently completed Heart Gold. I still need to play Hollow Knight. I might stream that at some point. I'm probably gonna stream it. Recently completed Heart Gold. I recently I never streamed. I only streamed like one quick thing randomly, but I recently beat Red and I want to go back to it again. Some JRPGs, so I might get that. JRPGs is a lot. I actually recently bought the Dragon Quest 3 2D remake, and I'm gonna be excited to play that. I'm debating whether I should play it on a stream or not, but I might just play it on my own. Really hard. It's been really hard for me to get into a game and play it from start to finish. That's what I have always done. That's why I have these streams, to play from start to finish. I like enjoying people, talk with them and hang out with them, and that's what makes me like these streams, because it makes me at least sit down and play games from start to finish. Like Mario Party at least gets us together to do multiplayer stuff or play other stuff, or Great Ace Attorney, it'll be like, hey, it's a game I wanted to play and I haven't started in a while, whatever. It's a game that I can get through and start to finish. I know I can get through it. It's slow, but I can get through it. Have you ever heard of Infinite Fusion? Yes, I have, and I was always considering trying it. I don't know when, but I was considering it. The Dragon Quest 3 remake looks insane. Like, playing streaming it as well. It does look really good. I want to play it. I am really excited for it. I got the collector's edition, so I thought it was a lot more for the collector's edition, but it's more digital stuff than anything. I do have it. This is my copy. Can I get it to focus? Man, my camera just does not focus on the right things. Yeah, but I do have it. I'm considering streaming it. If I do stream it, it would be like with Will and Jamie on my Dragon Warrior streams, because both of them are big fans of Dragon Quest. But the issue is with Jamie's been really tired and busy, so it's going to be a long one. I kind of want to play it. I don't know. It's a heavy debate right now. I don't know fully what I'm going to do with it yet, but we will see how I feel. I'll give it maybe a couple weeks to see fully how I feel. Dragon Warrior is going to I already played it before, so that's why I'm fine with playing it slowly. But Dragon Quest, on the other hand, I never played 3, and I've always wanted to play 3. So, I mean, I could just play the original 3 because I do have that on the NES over there. Another hard game to come by physically. That was a lot of talk. Let me go through this. You can still type with me, Sid. I know it's pretty late for you, but I'm going to start this and we can continue chatting. I'm going to start this now, so this is a good cut for future Moto. Woo! Thanks for the hydrate. Oh. I gotta pause this for a quick second. I need some more water. It's actually getting hot in here, so I will take a quick breather break. I'll come back.